Morning. It's April 17th, Easter morning. Happy Easter. Hope you're doing well. I have two Easter albums. As you can probably tell by the subject title. One of them is by the Residents. Easter woman came today and took away my wife, took her through an open doorway to the afterlife. That is the song on the first record I reviewed, which is called The Commercial Album. This is the last 10. This is the last Residents 10. I've listened to a lot of these Residents albums. Not all of them yet. There's too many of them, including like the remixes and shit. It's just it's impossible. You never scrape the bottom. They're still putting out odds and ends. Anyway, boxes full of Armageddon, boxes full of death, boxes full of something hidden to the left or something. I don't fucking know, man. It's about the apocalypse. The Bunny Boy. I thought it was about Jesus, because they do talk about Jesus. They reference Jesus a little bit in the webisodes. Okay, this is where I think this is officially the spot where nobody knows what I'm talking about. The Residents released like 70 things online that were Bunny Boy videos. I'll link them in the description. That explained, but I've watched a bunch of them. They don't really explain this record. But anyway, Boxes Full of Armageddon, I think, is the closest you're going to get to explaining this record. It's about the apocalypse. It's about the end times. Which a lot of their later albums are about. I think they have like this kind of like psychic, prophetical quality to their music, which is what I appreciate so much about it. And I think they kind of, the guy, Homer, whoever the fuck, he's anonymous, was like aware of his own mortality and kind of projecting that onto the psychic realm. And so all of his last records are about death. And a lot of the early records. This is a cryptic, horrific band. They're one of my favorites. They were like the first people to break music, I feel like. Completely. Like just completely dispensed with any notion of taste. But yeah, Boxes Full of Armageddon is fantastic musically. I don't like the like augmented metal chords that they use. It's like, it doesn't sound like Snakefinger to me. Snakefinger's approach cannot be replicated, and that's demonstrated by the guitar playing that kind of tries to ape the Snakefinger. It feels like at times they're trying to fall into their old like 70s bag of tricks, quite literally, like using some of the same formulas and counter melodies, atonal things that they used in early stuff, slightly modified, but it's basically, it's a return to form somewhat sonically, but the quality isn't at the level of the 70s stuff, honestly. But this is the last album I think is a great album that the Residents put out. Rabbit Habit got a great bass line. It's basically the bass line from Hey Man, Nice Shot by Filter. And he talks about how he loves the rabbits. The rabbits love him. It's a sweet song. I'm not crazy. Lyrically, this is one of my favorite songs. I think this is actually one of the few songs that plays with Christ consciousness as a concept. Life at first amused him, then callously abused him, leaving him confused in a most peculiar way. And when this happened to him, he clearly came unglued, and everyone who knew him knew he was not the same. Everyone is crazy and on their own. Yeah. Thanks for saying that. Everyone is crazy and on their own. I figured that out, but it checks out. Fear, Terror, Panic, and Doom. This is like about a young girl. I love this musically. This is one of those songs that musically kind of captures old Residents sound to me. As well as the obnoxiousness of songs like Butcher Shop and the craziness of The Dark Man. The Dark Man is a fantastic story song. Anyway, I'm talking about drawing pictures. This greasy looking black spot surrounded by the word no 100 times. He said it looked like her paper. There's this girl who they're concerned about who's drawing these disturbing drawings. She was drawing. He said it looked like she was trying to kill ants with her pencil. She's just like stabbing all over the paper with it wildly. And anyway, that's what you're left with. It's just a description of like a disturbed girl drawing these disturbing things. Drawing pictures of doom. Fear Dreams has like a Waitsy bell percussion. It's one of the nicer songs instrumentally. And it's about like fever dreams, fear dreams, and then like yeah, it's fever dreams, not fear dreams. It's an auto type. It's just he hates fever dreams, which is like what I think he means psychosis, but he also kind of loves it. Kind of can't get out of it. You can't be leading the residents and not be kind of psychotic, right? Butcher Shop is just really bizarre instrumentally, but I appreciate that because up to this point, a few of their records sonically to me kind of sounded like they were following and not leading anymore. And this is kind of, okay, this is, I don't know what the fuck this is, but at least you're going for something, you know? The Dark Man, it's a story song. It has the best musical breakdown on the record. It's like that old Residence for like 1 minute, not even like 30 seconds, and then it's vibes and he's talking, whatever. But you get a little peek of like, oh, they can still sound like that. Yeah. It Was Me Who Got It Wrong. It's pretty simple, nice repetitive synths. Patmos is the closer. It's an island lost in the sun. Oh, his friend from Nigeria I liked. Isn't it My Nigerian Friend? Yeah, I think that's about like how you have these fake friends that are online. So you like, oh, they're my friends, but it's just some guy that maybe doesn't exist. Maybe he's trying to scam you. Which is a common experience nowadays, right? Boxes full of Armageddon, boxes full of death, boxes sitting in my doorway, boxes someone left. Yeah. So this album's about the end of the world. It doesn't have a very optimistic view of like how or why the end of the world is going to come about. It's just basically saying everybody's self-obsessed and they're in their machines. So anyway, this album was advertised by just making a bunch of YouTube videos. There's like 70 or something crazy. And I think the point of this album is as society gets more vapid, the residents mimic that as intuitive, empathic, prophetical people. They pick on that happening in the realm that they're perceiving psychically, and probably projecting some of that awareness of their own personal mortality onto the last few albums that they made. But I think that Bunny Boy is actually fun to listen to and actually holds up. I wouldn't watch the videos in the description unless you're like already super into the Residents. I watched too many of them and they still don't make any sense. So, I don't know. Yeah, you can watch them. It's just like Resident songs without music. It's just him doing like poems, monologizing. Which is a lot of what you get at a Resident show. But yeah, he did it through YouTube videos. Because it's about the apocalypse. And the internet, social media, these types of things might be why he's so concerned about everything ending. Because if anybody knows that machines can destroy things, it's the first people who made experimental electronic music in the mid-70s. Hare Krishna. Hare